Hi everyone. Happy Groundhog Day. I love this holiday as I love all holidays, but especially the very cutesy little itty bitty ones like this. Not that I live anywhere that has any semblance of winter whatsoever. We did get a little bit of fog today. We did, and I like to believe that was the spirit of the groundhog blessing us with the surprise, fun little weather change there for us. It's pretty exciting. Southern California, that shit's pretty, it's kind of a little bit of an event. Um, so, you know, um, even though we don't typically get winter really out here, I do appreciate this day because it kind of gives us a moment to really kind of celebrate ridiculousness. Anyone not familiar with the day, um, there is this small town, Puxatawny, and the mayor of this town, he creates this little woodland creature that, given the name, you would think it would be more of like a swine type creature, but it isn't. It's like a little burrowy, like rodent type deal, cute as hell. But the mayor of this small town, he yanks the little thing out of its little warm little burrow and parades it in the street where we all pretend like it can predict the weather. It sounds like I just made that up off the top of my head, but it is real. It's a real holiday, and it's just showcases the most the really the lightest side of human nature. That's why I appreciate it so much. So it gives us all a little bit of fun, um, and a little bit of sweetness, and it involves a cute animal. So I'm all in, and so is the rest of America. And we thank you, little furry hog the ground. We love you, we appreciate you, and we salute you on your special little day. So I was going to pair the classic 1993 film, with something, maybe even itself, as the old joke goes. Um, but I thought, you know what? Why not take this time to kind of highlight some underrated features in the spirit of the 93 film? So I chose Deja Vu, which came out in 2006, with Edge of Tomorrow, which came out in 2014. And thematic to the 93 film, I am wearing, which you probably cannot see, my Ernest Hemingway shirt. It's a shirt of The Sun Also Rises. It's my favorite novella of his. Um, and kind of thematically, you know, repetitive cycles, day after day, party till you die, party to forget the horrors of your own mind. So yeah. Great novel though, and thematically a little bit on point. Also, it coins the term, it seemed like a good idea at the time. So fun little fact for you there. You didn't know before. But anyway, let's get into the movies. That's why we're here. And I will talk about Tony Scott. So Tony Scott is my favorite Scott brother. Um, given, okay, Ridley's highs may be higher. Okay, I'm with you on that. But pound for pound, Tony has banger after banger after absolute banger. I mean, the guy is just like, when has Ridley ever been that consistent? Okay, like I don't want to pit two brothers against each other. Like that's the last thing I want to be doing. And I love Ridley Scott. Okay, like who doesn't? Obviously, I do. Um, I guess you know what? Like, here's the thing. I just maybe did a poor job of articulating it, but I just wanted to use this space, to hype up my man Tony. May he rest in peace. Um, there's been a Tony Scott void in this world, that just can't be filled, won't ever be filled. Miss him, miss his films terribly. RIP, but we can still appreciate the ones that he left for us. Um, and his muse Denzel. Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington. I mean, he has delighted audiences for generations. Um, what could even be said by like a talent like that. It's just like, he's just this actor that he embraces this charismatic populism and just a crowd pleaser through and through. And just, as time goes by, I am absolutely going to highlight more Denzel features because he's such an influential talent to me and just deeply infused with my love of action films. Just, I love him so much. Um, so But let's get into it. Let's get into talking about his ATF agent in Deja Vu. Now, this actually came about, speaking of Denzel, on the topic of Denzel. This came on a Sunday, much like today, where I sat around and I thought, how many Denzel movies can I watch in a day? 6 is the answer. I watched 6 of them, Deja Vu being one of them. It was a great day. This is a great film. So let's get into it. So he plays an ATF agent in this film. He's called out to this ferry bombing that happens in New Orleans. And he is the greatest detective to ever live. Sorry to Batman. He's the greatest detective to ever live. He could mop the floor with your bat-winged, brooding, creepy ass. And you know what? Like, that's like, I don't even know why I'm saying this. It's like, I love Batman, but it's just vibe with me. I'm going with it, I'm like, we're vibing together, okay? Like, we love Batman, but like at the same time, it's like, let's just have a little bit of fun. Um, so his Denzel, he's so exceptional at his job, is what I was trying to get to with the whole Batman. It's like I don't even know why I dragged Batman into it. I just dragging him all over the mud. It's like I don't know. It's just I don't know. I have no explanation for it. If anybody does, please help. Um, but so he is so exceptional at his job. He gets the attention of the special FBI squad, I guess, for lack of a better term. They're the special team of FBI agents. That's the better phrase right there. Found it. And among them, one of the greatest to ever do it, the great Val Kilmer. And so he kind of recruits him for this thing. He's like, I've been watching, man. Like, not to be all creepy about it, but I've been watching, and I've been liking what I'm seeing, you know? Um, I'm having way too much fun, with this today. It's a good day, after all. We gotta celebrate when we can, guys. Um, so, his instincts never prove him wrong, all right? Even his romantic ones. In this case, he falls in love with one of the victims who explodes. I've coined her, I have given her the name Exploding Beauty. It's a little bit uncalled for. Like I get it. It's a little bit like that's kind of it's like why like that's so just across the line. But you know what? It's a fictional character, okay? Keep that in mind as I'm making these terms. It's like we're letting loose. It's Groundhog's Day. It's the day. It's the feel of the day. It's a holiday. Let's celebrate, man. Exploding Beauty. But he knows, like, drawn to this exploding beauty. He's like, you know what? I know it's more than love or lust or both. It's like really driving me towards her. I'm a better detective than that. Like, what's going on here? Like, I never mess that with, like, I don't mix that. I'm better than that. And he is, of course he is. But and Tony Scott, he's like, I don't want to disappoint my beloved. How could I do that? So he concocts a way, for the narrative to kind of allow him to solve the case and get the girl. Now, what you're thinking is, necrophilia? Like, what's going on here? And I thought you said she died and it like exploded. Like, that's like pretty dark. It's pretty dark, Katie. And you'd be, like the thing is though, it's much more romantic than that. Watch the film and you'll see, like maybe I'm not doing a great job selling it, but it's very romantic in that he travels through the very confines of time itself. And with Valentine's Day coming up, anybody watching this, you're racking your brain like, what can I get my Valentine? Traveling through the very confines of time itself, kind of a winner. Kind of like the greatest Valentine's Day gift you could ever give a person. So think about it. Just throwing it out there. But anyway, so this special FBI squad, the Val Kilmer squad, um, they are like, look, we're not just like this special crew. Like we're like we're the cool kids of the FBI or whatever, but like we also do shit too. And one of those things that we're doing is experimenting with time travel. Um, and so the first go around, they're like, look, man, we never actually tested this out. We're like not even sure it's even going to work. So like, let's just send a note back in time and see if that works. Like, we'll see if the note thing goes well, and then we'll reconvene. We'll like regroup here after the note thing. If it's a success, good. We did it. We nailed it. We don't need to go any further. And of course, actually, like the case gets solved. So it ends up working, but it ends up going a little bit of awry, awry for Denzel. Solves the case, doesn't get the girl though. And in solving the case, he finds out that this domestic terrorist who has bombed this ferry in New Orleans is none other than fucking Jesus Christ himself, Jim Caviezel. If you can believe it, our very own JC. Um, you know, committing crimes. He's so heartbroken because the military rejects him, and he's like, if I can't kill for my country, I'll kill it. I'll kill the institution that rejected me. And it's like that's probably the mindset of like why they rejected you. But Jesus can't see it, and he gets locked up. And but of course this isn't sitting right with Denzel because he's like, yeah, I know, like we did it, but like also like I didn't get exploding beauty. I didn't get my girl, like I don't know, like is it really a success? And like the FBI squad's like, yeah, no, dude, we totally get it. Um, you know what? Like, don't tell anybody else, but like let's do it. We'll send you back. Risk everybody's life over again. Because that's, you know what? That's how much we trust Denzel. We trust him with our lives. I trust him with my life. I know you do watching this too. So, um, of course, they're like, you know what, man? Totally right. Like, bros for life. Get your fucking ass in here. We'll do the most dangerous thing we can think of, and we'll get you that girl. We'll get you that girl. We'll get you Jesus again. It'll be fine. So he sends himself back in time. Another round of solving the case, getting the girl, changing the laws of physics and life itself. And of course, he succeeds. This is Denzel we're talking about. Of course, he succeeds. Um, and it's exciting. It's thrilling, ultimately tragic. In this very sacrificial act of heroism, Denzel does lose his life. He does die. But here's the thing about time travel pieces, okay? One timeline ends, but another is just beginning. So, as the Denzel that came to investigate the crime in the first place is just arriving on the scene, unknowingly being his biggest supportive wingman here, um, he's already gotten the girl, he's already solved the crime, he's already altered the world for what should be like better, but like, let's be honest, like, it's in the hands of the FBI. It's like better should be, but really, do we really trust federal law enforcement? Not me, not me. Um, but I do trust Denzel with my life. I do trust him with national security, and with national law enforcement. So if this goes south, I figured, you know what? He'll be back. We'll get a deja vu two, deja two, deja vu, whatever. You know what? They'll come up. They'll get there. There'll be a teen. They'll come up with it. Like off the cuff here on a Sunday night. It's like, what do you expect? It's ay ay ay. It's been a long day. We've been celebrating Groundhog Day. Obviously it's been a party. So he'll dismantle the FBI from the very beginnings if he has to, okay? So I'm not too worried about it. And you know what? Let's just take it for what it is. It's a win. We got a 3 timeline save. So getting to Edge of Tomorrow. We got Tom Cruise's Major Cage. He is anything but a hero. He is the opposite of Denzel in this role. He is the head of public relations for the U.S. military during this really catastrophic alien invasion. Um, and he kind of gets sacrificed to the front lines. Um, And he's so unwilling to fight himself that he tries to violently desert and it just is kind of like showing this point of like he happily and greedily recruits everyone else to fight and die for him and his fellow elites, but completely unwilling to do it himself. Tale as old as time. Um, and not only do we have like the sci-fi elements connecting these two, we got yet another charismatic leading man. We got Tom Cruise, complete weirdo in real life, but he does a great job of portraying himself as an everyman. I gotta say, like, even as this pompous prick, he looks so damn heroic doing it. So I love Tom Cruise. Major psychopath, but also just like he's so fucking charming, man. It's like he can really do it. But not more charming than the late great Bill Paxton. I mean, just a presence that can make even the most outstanding films just that much better. I mean, we love Bill Paxton, RIP, miss him. He's another just void that is just never going to be filled. And thankfully, we have just a huge filmography from him that we can return to and enjoy him at any time we want. Um, and Emily Blunt, our stoic action hero. And with her, it's like the stoicism is really like it's inspired. It's not just like, oh, I'm hard boiled for no reason. Hard boiled because of the unimaginable nightmares that she is reliving day by day by day by months by possibly years. And it's kind of understood, like, you know, having this sort of hardened heart is sort of the way to go in this repetitive world. It's like, yeah, she has the mental strength, but mentally she's unraveling just, yeah, proportions untold. And it's just like, it's the same cycle over and over and over again until it's like it's just kind of make you so numb. You're just joylessly, pressing at the same goddamn controller on the same goddamn level of the same goddamn video game, and you start to think like maybe the game's creator didn't even like create a level after this. Like maybe it's not even a game. Maybe it's just a torture device. Looking at you, Aladdin, for Sega Genesis. And if you know what I'm talking about here. It was a medieval torture device for children. There was no other level. That was it. That was it. And you were just stuck in that one little area, in that one little corner, and that's where you stayed for the rest of your life. It's the closest that you'll ever experience of hell when you're alive. Do not recommend that game. And if anyone has beaten it, please show me video proof because I would love to see that it's actually a completed game and not just a one level torture device. Um, really sick shit, guys. So after so many unsuccessful attempts, as you can already see from my just rage, it's like even they get these unlimited attempts, it's still just like after so many unsuccessful attempts, completing the journey at this point would be the shock of all lifetimes. Like that would be the like, oh my god, we did it. We actually did it. There's just so many ways to fuck up, so many ways to die. And once you kind of get trapped in this mindset, it's sort of like, is it even possible that the odds have to eventually allow me to win here? Um and it differs from the traditional time loop or curse, whereas the characters know exactly how to stop it, but literally can't because it's keeping humanity and hope alive. Um, and it's just, I kind of remember, well, I'm remembering now, not kind of, I'm actually remembering. So remembering now, like the title of the book that this is based on, Live, Die, Repeat, which is also like a kind of like an alternative title to this film too. It just like conjures up just sort of those repetitive horrors, just like stuck to live out the same nightmare. And perpetuity while the literal weight of the world rests upon your shoulders. It's like no pressure, but like, this is literally the most important thing you could ever do in your life. Um, and we got Major Cage. He's also after the girl, he's also after a girl, it's like it can't go too dark. There's also gonna be love in these hopeless places, right? Rihanna got it. Um, we get it. And this love, differing from the 93 Groundhog Day or even Deja Vu, this one comes out of a period of immeasurable darkness and trauma. And at the end of this film, the mission succeeds, obviously. But after he's winning the girl, he's won the girl, he's thawed this ice around her heart day after day, death after death, fuck up after fuck up, just and then he finds her after the mission succeeds, and she doesn't remember him at all. And he gives us this real, just like this laugh that just kind of says it all. Like, like, thank God it's over. Thank God she's safe. Fuck me, I'm not starting all that over again. Like that is just like a done deal. That's just done and done. I'm not getting into that again, okay? Um, and you know, look, the 93 one has this sort of very just existential horror elements to it, for sure. But these two films kind of up the ante in a way that they're literally pitting these two against life and death. And it kind of makes the viewer walk away with, because we remember it all, even if they don't. Um, that even though, they both succeed, there's just this kind of like cold fragility that kind of doesn't leave you afterwards. It's sort of like, you start reflecting and looking at your own life, at history that repeats itself, our mistakes repeating themselves, the situations we find ourselves in repeating themselves, even the people around us repeating. And humans are creatures of habit. And we typically kind of grip on to that. Like, we kind of typically grip on hardest to these habits that serve us the least. Um, and it's sort of fables like these that I believe should be told far and wide every Groundhog Day. I'm starting a new tradition, um, where we kind of sit and reflect and relay to ourselves and others, you know, progress or reset. And that's the spirit of the holiday. That's the spirit of today. It's the spirit of life. It's the spirit of deja vu and edge of tomorrow. And you can check out Deja Vu is streaming on AMC Plus currently. Um, If you don't get a free trial for Edge of Tomorrow, it's, for a nominal fee streaming. I definitely recommend checking these out. This sounded really, I always make things sound a little bit darker than need be. These are fun movies. These are great movies. And thanks for checking it out. I hope you check these two out if you haven't seen them already, or if you haven't seen them together. See you on the next go round. I will be doing a Valentine's theme one for the lovers. You can probably only imagine coming from me what that means. um, so look forward to that. See you on the next go around and have a happy Groundhog Day.